Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to listen to some mumbly jumbly. All the way from St. Albans, your host for tonight, Abs the Magic, Supercoach Godfather.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining. Now, in today's topic, we're going to talk about Zach Merrett. We're going to find out, does he offer any value? Is he a keeper? Well, I think keeper, yes, 100% keeper. We all knew that. Just calm it down. But is there value? Okay, we're going to find out, is there value? Can he hold his price? Or can he make some more so that he doesn't drop his price, so we don't have to pick him up cheaper later on? So we're going to find out, does he offer value? And I think he might. All right, let's continue. Now, in an article on Fox Sports, he says that he's parked his ego and he's trained a lot harder than he's ever trained before. So looks like his fitness level has peaked. He's also saying that he's now become a more... he's built his defensive game a lot better. So, and obviously he's coached by one of the best defensive coaches you can have at the moment. So looks like defensive wise, he's going to be a more defensive. He's going to be able to do the tackles and the chase downs and the things that get those extra points. Another thing to take note of, he said that whilst playing under previous Essendon coaches, he was more role based and didn't have the freedom to play as a pure midfielder. He's saying that under Scott now he has a freedom to now roam around and do what midfielders do. Now I don't really understand what that meant. I assumed that all the midfielders were midfielders, but looks like he has a license to roam around now, so which makes it more damaging. So he can get more touches. It actually is good news for both him and Parrish too. So that can both be. Well, I think Parrish is already underpriced, so Merrett could be another one. All right, let's continue. Now let's have a look at his price. It's at 617k. Now last year he started at 625k. Now let me just show you something, okay? He scored 113, 117, 123, 99, and 108. So you would say they're not too bad scores. They're okay. He still dropped in price with those scores down at 611. So it only dropped by 14k. It's not that bad. But then one bad score in there, that 57, just shattered his price. It dropped all the way down to 530k. So it only takes one bad score to drop your price down. So when I say, does he offer value? Well, he does at 625k because he can actually keep that scores going, especially if he scores at like 140, 147. His score will hold value. But once he's, like you can see here, from 520k, it jumped to 650 again. So the value is there. But as long as he scores well, he just doesn't want that one bad score. So we're going to look up his draw now and see who he's going to play against and see if there's any taggers involved. Plus, I want to show you his durability, like it's solid. He's missed 5 games in the last 7 years, and 3 of those games was last year. Then he continues. So he's a very durable player. So let's continue. Now his opening games, all right. We're looking for taggers. Now the Hawks may tag, they may not. Gold Coast, I don't think they tag. St Kilda, well they have a new coach now, Ross Lyon. So we know Ross Lyon loves taggers. So they may tag, but we don't know yet. We haven't seen Ross Lyon's new game plan. GWS, they used to tag, but the new coach they have now is an ex-Richmond coach. So Richmond don't tag, so maybe GWS now don't tag either, because we didn't see Collingwood tag last year. Now Melbourne don't tag, or Viney may be a tagger, but it's very rare that Melbourne tag. Then you come up to Geelong, who may not tag. Collingwood, so he's going to have a run with no taggers coming along. So if you are going to pick him up, you want to get his big scores at the starts. The same goes to Parrish as well. Both Essendon midfielders, I can't see any tags coming. Brisbane Lions might tag him. The tags won't come all the way till roughly around the West Coast game. And that's when you might get a tag coming from there. But it's a good run. Not many tags coming through. So yeah, I like his start to the season, especially Hawthorn, Gold Coast, and Killer GWS, the first 4 games, it's all winnable for Essendon. They can start 4-0. So it's huge. All right, let's continue. Now, last year in round 2, Zach Merrett got tagged by the Lions in the 3rd quarter. So after half time, the Lions tagged him. So I'm looking for taggers. Who else tagged him? Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find Zach Merrett. Let's keep going. All right. Also, the Giants tagged him in round 21. We're not sure if the Giants will tag this year, but when the Giants did tag him in round 21, and this is a full tag, in round 21, he only scored 71. So obviously his output drops once he gets tagged. Now, he must have got tagged in round 22. I'm just trying to find it. All right, let's have a look. Keep going. Who tagged him in round 22? There we go. Round 22 got tagged by Port. So he's been tagged those 2 games, and that explains his 2 poor scores. Otherwise, he's going to go nuts. He's almost a player that you'd like. Look at these scores: 140, 147, 136. These are all captain scores. This is actually better scoring than Oliver, and Oliver's 700k. If you can get these kind of scoring, and you got 2 tags there, if they weren't tagged, he'd probably go the same. I can't assume now. Okay, I'm not assuming coming down. Okay, but these are like oh my god scores. These are huge. I'm actually thinking about starting him ahead of the Bond. He's that good. All right, let's continue. Okay, now Zach Merrett also, his CBAs seem to be pretty high, 80%, 90%. One game at 35, but he still scored a huge 133 points that game. So no issues with his CBAs. And there's no point going into his heat maps because we look in the heat maps to see players' roles, if they're going to change or what they do in those roles. Zach Merrett, we know he has a midfield role, so there's no point looking for a midfield role when we know he already has one. So there's no point, and I've already looked at him anyway. So I don't want to waste your time. So I'm going straight to my final verdict. My final verdict on Zach Merrett. Now, the pros and cons. Well, there aren't many cons. There are mainly all pros. And does he offer value? Is there value? Okay, I think there is. Even though he's at 625k, is it 620? Actually, what was it? 617k, or around about 620k. Doesn't matter. Just come down something like this. All right, 620k. All right, value at 620k. He can easily hold this, and if not, he can easily go up to 650k. And once he hits 650k, especially if he starts the way he ended last year, he's had. I mean, we've read the Fox report. He's had an awesome preseason. I love what I'm actually tipping him for a Brownlow. He's my early bet for a Brownlow. So I'm saying his value. In regards to should you put him in your team, with the early start that he's got, he's a lock. He's a lock. Now, I don't throw away keys for the primos at this price. I can't throw keys away, all right? So you're just going to lock him for now. Just calm it down. Don't throw those keys yet. Just keep them. Because sometimes you need to reshuffle your team around based on ruckman, on defenders. So it's very hard to adjust. But he is a lock. So my recommendation to you is going to be go with your heart. All right. But if you have room in your team to fit a player at that price, get him in. He's good. Very impressed. Would I start him? Very possible. I'm thinking about starting him, but the problem I have is I'm also thinking about starting Parrish. I don't know which one to get. Do I get Parrish or do I get Merrett? Do I get them both? Do I give the Bond the flick? I love the Bonds, so this is going to be a tough one. But I really like Merrett. I have him. All right, I have Merrett as a top four mid. I have him on par with Took. I think he's as good as Took Miller, especially if he's lifted his fitness up. He can be huge. Captain material every week, no doubts. Yep, I love what I see. Okay, I'm talking myself into it. I'm just going to calm it down now. I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to talk about him no more. All right. Now, that's all for today. And thank you for joining. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.